My name is Dennis, and this is my dad.
Hi, I am Eugene.
Together we are the creators of Control, Alt, Delete Climate Change. It's official.
We have just entered the $20 million NRG COSIA Carbon XPRIZE.
And we're excited to be part of a worldwide effort to develop technology that can provide a bridge to a cleaner and more sustainable energy future. The Carbon XPRIZE is a $20 million competition that challenges teams to develop breakthrough technologies that convert the most CO2 into one or more products with the highest net value. Co-sponsored by NRG and
COSIA,
the Canadian Oil Sands Innovation Alliance, the multi-year competition is designed to address CO2 emissions from fossil fuels, a leading contributor to climate change.
Our submission is called Carbon Capture in Plain Sight.
It is our goal to convert CO2 from a liability into fertilizer and a multitude of concrete precast products that will not only benefit Alberta and Canada, but has the potential to benefit the entire world. Here is a simple rundown of how our process is to work. Please understand that these are only props to give you a visual on our proposal. The actual working units will look much more industrial. Normally, a coal-burning power plant has a lot of stuff in its emissions. We will divert this stuff in our first unit, the airborne unit. Here, the stuff, or the heavies, will be converted into fertilizer and a pure stream of carbon dioxide is created. This process is already proven, and usually the CO2 is released in the atmosphere. We will divert this now pure CO2 into 3 different units or trains of production. The first train is where we plan to bubble CO2 through a saltwater scrubber. Here, after drying, we will create a product called calcium carbonate, which is said to be an equal to Portland cement when used as a binder in concrete products. By simply adding CO2 in traditional concrete, it is already proven that you get a stronger, faster curing concrete that is sequestering the carbon dioxide, resulting in a more environmentally friendly product. However, to my knowledge, the current process only captures 70% of the CO2, and the other 30% is still emitted to atmosphere. I am proposing to close the carbon loop. The second train is our concrete precast manufacturing unit. We're proposing to utilize the power of CO2-enriched concrete. It would look something like this. First, we would utilize what is left after the oil is stripped from the oil sands, the sand. We would then ideally like to use recycled concrete and other aggregates along with our newly created calcium carbonate produced from train 1. All of this would be batched into a continuous feed along with water and an enrichment of extra CO2. We would produce products such as roads, pipes, tunnels, bridges, buildings, fences, power poles, jersey barriers, structures for creating jetties or seawalls, artificial coral reefs, and small wall components to create low-income homes, all from the tar sands and upgraders byproducts. The benefits and boundaries of concrete precast products are limitless. Our concrete precast manufacturing unit is a closed unit, which means all of this and the CO2 that seeps out of our products will be recollected and diverted back into a saltwater scrubber to create more calcium carbonate, which could be used in our system or sold off as fire retardant. Chalk could be used as paper, plastics, paint, and coatings. It can also be used in building materials and construction usages. Think of the endless possibilities. The third train is for storage and loading. Pretty simple. The CO2 is compressed and either saved for later or sold off as a byproduct.
We are a father and son team of inventors and innovators with loads of process ingenuity from Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta.
Dad has invented many processes in his lifetime. Some of those include a process to make time-release fertilizers, a process to make nickel-coated graphite, which enables your electronics to have touchscreen capabilities. He recently came up with a process to adhere diamonds onto oil and gas drill bit heads. In the past, companies would boast they could get their bits to work for a few days. Dad, how long would your bit work?
I have created a drill bit that will last for 24 days of constant drilling.
Dad has also created a plating process used to make jet turbine engines virtually friction-free, which saves the flight and airline industry over 1 million liters of fuel an hour. How much is that a day?
That amounts to over $6 million US in savings a day.
Dad's process of making an engine virtually free also helps the Porsche 918 Spyder go from 0 to 100 in 2.6 seconds, 0 to 200 in 7.6 seconds, and will go 100 kilometers on only 3 liters of fuel. I may be a bit biased, but that's a pretty impressive list of achievements. I follow in his footsteps and most recently came up with an idea to curb the negative effects of climate change by putting an invisible, unbound screen in space made from nickel dust. The idea is to actually block and absorb 1.7% of the sun's emissions. This would potentially slow the ice caps from melting and the seas from rising, buying mankind time to come up with the ideas to control emissions. The novelty of this idea is that nickel is magnetic, so when the time comes that this idea is no longer needed, the dust could be removed with satellites equipped with electromagnets, like it never happened. However, when we heard of the Carbon XPRIZE, we jumped to the opportunity to enter with the submission,
Carbon capture in plain sight.
We are confident we'll be able to capture upwards of 95% of emissions while using some of the oil sand's biggest byproducts, sand and carbon dioxide. Think of a house built for someone in need from what used to pollute the environment.
For more information about the NRG COSIA Carbon XPRIZE, visit carbonxprize.org.
To hear more about carbon capture in plain sight and Control-Alt-Delete climate change, please go to cadclimatechange.com. If you think you have what it takes to be on our team, financially or as a contributing member, please email me directly at dennis@cadclimatechange.com.